take that.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Peace be upon you. It's not my class today, it's the class of Brother Nasser El-Morshidy. I'm here just to make an announcement that inshallah Islam team is organizing a very, very important event that will inshallah take place next month, Saturday and Sunday, January 7 and January 8. January 7 and January 8. We have two great scholars, very, very famous and international scholars. One is coming all the way from Qatar. He's originally from Canada. His name is Dr. Bilal Phillips. And the other one is coming from Malaysia. Originally he was a Chinese Buddhist who became a Muslim, and mashallah he studied in Saudi Arabia and he became one of the scholars of Islam today. His name is Hussein Yi. He's coming from Malaysia, together with Dr. Bilal Phillips on Saturday, January 7 and January 8. There will be three events that will take place during this time. One is now will be a workshop, Saturday and Sunday morning workshop that will explore some of the topics of Islam, and there will be a lot of question and answer sessions between the audience and the scholar. The second event will be interfaith dialogue between Dr. Bilal Phillips and a pastor of the Lutheran Church called John Lemon. That will be on the topic, the concept of salvation in Christianity and Islam. And the third event will be general lectures by Dr. Bilal and Sheikh Husseini on the topics of why do we have this kind of stress and depression, and how Muslims can coexist with other communities. All the events will take place in the Duke of Windsor social building in Wan Chai, the Duke of Windsor. And anyway, I don't want to take too much time from you, so please, anyone interested to attend, please email us at info at servingislamteam.com. I will write here the email. info at servingislamteam.com. We will send you the details of next month events, inshallah. Dr. Bilal Phillips and Sheikh Hussein. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum. 7 and 8 of January next month, inshallah. Next month. Yeah, next year. Next month. January. No, Duke of Windsor, Wan Chai. You email me, I give you the details.
Social center. It's just at the wide.
Nice to be with you here today. My name is Nasser. Actually, I've been in Hong Kong for a long time already, for 10 years. So it's my pleasure to be with you today. Our talk today is about fundamentalism and jihad. And of course, many times we read in the newspaper about jihad. Muslims calling for jihad here, or these Muslims are saying about jihad in Palestine, different parts. So this word is common. We hear it a lot. And some people might have some arguments, some controversy about this word. So we like to know what's the position of Islam about jihad. What's jihad in Islam? So basically, to start with, the word fundamentalism. Recently, in the recent years, many people, especially in the West, spoke about Islamic fundamentalism for many years, maybe during the last 3 decades or 4 decades, as if there is only Islamic fundamentalism. There is no Christian fundamentalism, there is no Jewish fundamentalism. Usually they speak about Islamic fundamentalism. So if we go to Encyclopedia Britannica, just try to see what's the meaning of this word fundamentalism. They say it's a type of militant, conservative religious movement characterized by the advocacy of a strict conformity to sacred texts. So usually, those people, fundamentalists, they like to stick to the strict words in the sacred texts, once used exclusively to refer to American Protestants. So at the beginning of the last century, 20th century, it was mainly used for American Protestants, Christians who insisted on the inerrancy of the Bible. The term fundamentalism was applied more broadly, beginning in the 20th century, to a wide variety of religious movements, Indeed, in the broad sense of the term, many of the major religions, let us concentrate on this, many of the major religions of the world may be said to have fundamentalist movements. So this is basically about this word fundamentalism. And usually this word is stick to some movements in the Muslim world. So what I'm trying to do today is to give you an idea about the basic or the main Islamic movements or Islamic groups in the Muslim world, which maybe this term of Islamic fundamentalism has been somehow connected to these Islamic movements. So we'll try to talk about these Islamic movements, the big one and the most influential one, and later on we'll talk about jihad in general, what's jihad in Islam. So to start with, we heard, maybe some of you might have heard about Wahhabism. Wahhabism, this is an Islamic movement. What's Wahhabism? The Wahhabi movement started with a certain scholar by the name of Muhammad ibn Abdul Wahhab. He was born in 1703 and passed away in 1792. He was born and lived in the Arabian Peninsula. Muhammad ibn Abdul Wahhab, he called for eliminating the new inventions in religion, but actually many of his opinions were rejected by the religious scholars in his time. And maybe some Muslim scholars today might have different view with the views or the opinions of Muhammad ibn Abdul Wahhab. He succeeded in having an alliance with Muhammad ibn Saud, the ruler of Ad-Duraya in Saudi Arabia. So Muhammad ibn Abdul Wahhab was born in Saudi Arabia. He has certain views about reforming the Muslim community in his own area. Certain point of view or certain opinions were rejected or opposed by some Muslim scholars, but later on he was succeed to have some sort of an alliance with a certain ruler of a certain place in Saudi Arabia at the time called Ad-Duraya. So this is basically about Wahhabism, how it started. Wahhabism has a solid ground mainly in Saudi Arabia. Mainly in Saudi Arabia. The Wahhabi movement takes a rigid view regarding the application of Islam. Such rigid ideas were not attractive in different Muslim countries. So actually the Wahhabi ideas, the Wahhabi way of thinking, the Wahhabi opinions were not spread in different parts of the Muslim world. At the beginning, even in the 20th century, up to even the 1980s, there is no much, many people have these ideas of the Wahhabi. However, because mainly it's spread in Saudi Arabia, and this is the main ideas in Saudi Arabia right now, or the scholars there. So when the Saudis start to build some schools in some Muslim countries, and some people from different parts of the Muslim world go there to learn and to enroll in Saudi universities, they start to have certain ideas about through the Wahhabi, school of thought or the Wahhabi movement. They try to have certain ideas and opinions. But unfortunately, when they go back to their own countries, like some of my friends might told me, even in China, they have some sort of, clash with the community in their own countries. Because these are certain ideas which is a little bit strict. And they take a certain point of view as if this is the only right way. Others may be wrong. They think that this is the only way that should be followed. So they have some sort of clashes when they go back to the country. The attacks of 9/11 shed more light on the ideas of the Wahhabi movement that influenced Osama bin Laden. Osama bin Laden was a Saudi citizen. He was born in Saudi, brought up in Saudi Arabia, and basically he was influenced by these ideas, because this is what the students are being taught in the school and so on. So there are certain, characteristics of this Wahhabi idea or Wahhabi opinions. They're so strict in certain ways. But these ideas maybe you will not find in different Muslim worlds like Indonesia, Egypt, other parts of the Muslim world. So these are basically the Wahhabi movement. Started in Saudi Arabia in the 18th century, basically because this scholar or Muhammad ibn Abdul Wahhab were able to have some sort of an alliance with a ruler of a certain place. He succeeded to establish his own ideas somewhere there. Of course, this, still up to date, this alliance is still there, because the Saudi government or the the Saudi government is still have the opinions of those scholars who are following this Wahhabi movement or Wahhabi ideas.
You mean even nowadays?
Yes, of course, this is a solid ground. Yes, nowadays in Saudi Arabia, the ideas of Muhammad ibn Abdul Wahhab is followed in Saudi Arabia. And actually, if you hear this word Saudi, or the king, how to say, King Fahd bin Saud, King Abdulaziz bin Saud, or King Abdullah bin Saud, this is his grandfather. Ibn Saud was allied with this scholar at the time, long time ago, 3-4 centuries ago. So still they are the rulers in Saudi Arabia up today. We have now a certain scholar who influenced many Muslim movements in the whole Muslim world by the name of Jamaluddin al-Afghani. Jamaluddin al-Afghani was born in 1838 and passed away in 1879. Jamaluddin al-Afghani was a Muslim reformer. He was the leading figure of Islamic modern revival. Almost all over the Muslim world, this person has influenced the Muslims in almost all the Muslim world. He was born and educated in Afghanistan. He struggled against the Western influence in the Muslim world. He traveled to India, Iran, Egypt, and Turkey. And wherever he go, he has some sort of acceptance. The people accepted his own ideas. He has a certain good ideas how to reform the situation in the Muslim world. In the 19th century at that time, majority of the Muslim world were under Western occupation. So this figure, Jamaluddin al-Afghani, started to talk to the people. The Muslims have a great civilization before. What happened to them? Why it turns that now the no civilization, they are backwards, and even the West occupy almost or many of the Muslim countries at that time. He tried to talk to the people and tried to find a solution about the current situation at that time in the Muslim world. Al-Afghani, in his own idea about reform in the Muslim world, he indicated that there are two reasons for the backwardness of the Muslims. First, religious prejudice at that time, and political despotism. He called upon Muslims to have constitutional government and adopted the principle of Ashura as a basis for the government in Islam, in the Islamic world. Ashura means consultation. Shura is an Arabic word, means consultation. That the ruler should consult all the people in whatever decisions he takes. But actually, whether it's parliamentary or whatever, Islam doesn't put a certain frame for this. But generally speaking, there should be some sort of consultation among the people whom to choose to rule over them, and the ruler or the president or the king or whoever should consult with the people about whatever decisions he takes, which are very important for the state or for the country. So Jamaluddin al-Afghani called upon the Muslims to apply this principle of Ashura and to be tolerant. He called for the education of women, because as I say, in the 19th century, in different parts of the Muslim world, there were not many schools for women at that time. So he called for the education of women and defended the freedom of the press. These are the main ideas of this figure, Jamaluddin al-Afghani, very famous Muslim scholar. He influenced almost all the Islamic groups or the Islamic movements. We have another figure by the name of Muhammad Abdu. Muhammad Abdu, he was born in 1849 and passed away in 1905. He was born in Egypt and educated in Al-Azhar Mosque, which is very famous in the Muslim world. He participated in the war against the British colonization in Egypt around 1882. He was arrested and exiled to Lebanon for 3 years. This scholar, he joined his mentor, or his teacher, Jamaluddin al-Afghani in Paris, where they published Al-Urwa al-Wusqa newspaper. So actually, when Jamaluddin al-Afghani visited Egypt and stayed there for a certain time, Muhammad Abdu was one of his own students. And he loved Jamaluddin al-Afghani very much, and even he was exiled and he traveled to Paris, and both of them issued a certain well-known newspaper at the time by the name of Al-Urwa al-Wusqa. Muhammad Abdu also has a great influence in Egypt and also Muslim worlds. Muhammad Abdu concentrated more in the reform of education, especially in the religious institutions. He believed that reforming education will lead to the right understanding of the spirit of Islam. He called for the application of the constitutional and parliamentary system in the Muslim world. I'm talking about the 19th century, mind me, I'm trying to give you the history of these movements, which are, you can read some names now in the newspapers, or you might hear the names in the TV, so you have certain ideas. Now we have another Muslim figure by the name of Rashid Rida. Rashid Rida was born in 1865 and passed away in 1935. He was born and educated in Lebanon. He came in contact with Muhammad Abdu, the previous scholar, Muhammad Abdu. When he was impaired, he decided to migrate to Egypt, this Rashid Rida, and established Al-Manar magazine, which was widely distributed in the Muslim world. Even this magazine was issued in Egypt, but you cannot imagine even at the beginning of the 20th century it goes to India, and the people in India read that newspaper by the name of Al-Manar. He supported the restoring of the caliphate. The caliphate actually, where before the Muslims have a certain caliph or a certain ruler, even spiritual ruler, if he does not control all the Muslim world, but he was the spiritual figure. Muslims all over the world followed him. And the last caliph was in Turkey, Istanbul, but this position has been cancelled in 1924. So this scholar, even after that, he called that the Muslims should have a caliph again, should have a certain